Spyderco. Just an awesome company. One of those things that kind of tickles your fancy when you know that you're just itching for a new Tomahawk. You ever had that? You ever had that feeling that you're just like, oh man, I really need another Tomahawk? Well, this is one of those feelings. I think this would be my first Tomahawk I've shown on this channel. If not, I don't know if I've shown any. I don't think I have. I've been meaning to. I still have a lot of material for you guys to go through. I still have a lot of other blades. But let this be the very first Tomahawk video on my channel, at least. I'm so sorry. Let's get into it, everybody. Let's talk blades. That's what we're into. Today I got for you guys a special blade that I really enjoy. I actually I like this Tomahawk so much. Designed by Lacey Sabo. Comes in this nice case. It's a very zipped up felt case. I'm trying to keep it in camera so you guys can see it. It is only big only because the camera is so close. But it's actually not that big. Oh, I'm moving my placemat around. That's not good. Bear with me here. This is going to be a little bit of a struggle for me to keep it in frame, but here it is. Spyderco Warrior Hawk. Un momento. Let me get my bearings straight here so that way I can have something to look at to tell you. All right. Now, it's listed under Spyderco Warrior Hawk Utility Tomahawk with tough D2 steel head and 13.68 G10 scaled handle, custom molded Bolteron sheath. That's interesting. And padded zipper pouch -H03. That's a lot of text. But that's what Amazon has it under. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the best I can. It's already not fitting the frame. I do apologize about that. So I'm going to move the zip up pouch. It's actually nice and smooth in there. It's nice and fluff, but smooth at the same time. It's a little hard to explain. You're going to have to purchase one in order to get it or understand it. So this is probably the most flippin' G10 I have on anything. And this is so awesome. It feels so good in the hand. It really does. And for its size, I don't think that this is something that I would use as utility. Hell no. This is a warrior hawk. This is a fighting blade. This isn't meant for utility. They just put it under utility. What a load of freaking jargon schnoff. But hey, we got the Lacey Sabo insignia right there. I'm going to try and see if I can, without knocking over my tripod. There it is, Lacey Sabo. Got that kind of like skull luchador mask looking shadowy thing right there. That's so freaking badass. And of course, that awesome G10. You got that spike right there. That's pretty aggressive, but not too aggressive. It does have a point, but it's also to the point where it's not fragile either. You got the little Spidey hole right there. That's their symbol. And you got the little Spyderco spider right there. Try and move it around to keep it in frame the best that I can. I poked some holes with this just to see. Now, this doesn't really have... It comes to a point, but there's not an edge. I don't know if that really makes sense. I'll get to that stuff in a minute. But as I rub my thumb on it, it's not sharp in a way where it's meant to cut anything, like hair shaving at all. It doesn't really have that kind of an edge. It has more of where it all comes to a point, but it's just not really sharpened. So as I'm flipping it around, I'm trying to keep the blade in the frame here. It's a little bit difficult. It's my first time putting something this large on my channel with using the same tripod. I have a different size tripod I could have used. I'm just now thinking about it. So you got this other hole right here. You got two of them. You got one here, and then you got one at the very bottom of the handle, right down here. And this right here comes to it comes to a, you can see that it comes to a point, but it's also kind of flattened right here. So this isn't meant for cutting, more or less it's meant for prying. And I think that's really cool. So you can use this as a pry bar. This feels like it's a couple pounds. It's listed under 2 pounds. This is a lot, and it's solid metal with solid G10, and it's just fantastic. I've been wanting this for a little while, and I'm glad to have it now. This is just one of those things where it just blows my mind how awesome this thing is. Now, there's some text here. I just noticed it in the light. Okay, there we go. Spyderco D2. Awesome. That's new. I just now saw that. Oh, so it's made in Taipei, Taiwan. Awesome. Things that you learn when you see it in the light. The only 2 things that I noticed was the Spyderco spider and the Zabo face. I did not notice that there was any more text on this at all till just now. So really cool stuff. So that's looks like hex for the screws, if that is important to you at all. But this is all G10. So you got G10 slab here and G10 slab here. That is a ton of G10. It's just way too cool. And of course, I'll set this right here. It comes with this head protector. It's just Kydex, but it slips on and off relatively easy. You just put the end right here at the hooked portion. Clicks in place. Now, unfortunately, this does not, you cannot put this in the zipper pouch like this. You actually have to separate the head protector and the axe in order to put it in the zip-up case. So that's kind of a bummer, but at the same time, you know, it's fine. Another downer is the fact that you cannot, there's holes here. You can, you know, sling some lanyards around, or, you know, not lanyards, excuse me. Some paracord around it, and maybe you can use that as a type of carry. Or someone told me that you can actually use the holes here and use those as kind of like a way to carry. You can hook the holes on something around your belt. So there are different ways to carry this where you don't really need to. See, what's really funny is that most of the Tomahawks that I have already come with a head protector sheath that can be mounted or carried on your belt. This doesn't have that. So as expensive as this guy is, you don't really have that option unless you have to make your own. I don't know if that came out right, but I think it did. So it's really cool that it has this. But you also have that nice zip-up case. So you got to kind of, you know, sacrifice one for the other. But this is a great, I mean, this thing is solid. This thing is really, really, really solid. And the price tag on this, according to Amazon, $336. So it is a bit pricey. You can buy M16 tomahawks for, you know, 40, 50 bucks, 60 bucks. But because I'm a little Spyderco fanboy, I really wanted this Tomahawk for a while, and when I saw that it was available, something I needed to pull the trigger on before it was sold out. So really, really cool stuff. Yeah, it says pounds on it. It's the weight on this thing is 2 pounds. So this thing is a whopping 2 pounds heavy. I'm not going to use my knife scale for it because this thing is way too big and way too heavy. I don't want to break the scale or throw it off balance and then have it all screwed up. But it's really cool. This provides a lot of grip when you're wearing gloves and when you're not wearing gloves. The pattern on the G10 is just the right amount of grippy without it being way too much. And I don't know if that really kind of does anything for anybody, but other than that, you get this, and of course you get a booklet in there. So it's, you know, talking about product information and warranty guide from Spyderco. So basically, you have all this stuff. So it tells you what you need to know. I'm going to keep this thing right here so that way I kind of have a little bit of insight without having to go to the computer with it. But really, really cool. Really cool. And I don't think you really need this to be sharp. Just the weight alone, swinging this around, can really do what it needs to be, what it needs to do. And it's just so damn attractive to me. It really is. And it's got that, oh man, it's just too awesome. It just feels, the quality of this thing just feels, it just feels so good. Excuse me, I had to let out a little burp there. Drinking a LaCroix. So if you're in the market for a real Tomahawk, this is one of those ones that's just, the drool factor is immense. I really do enjoy this. Really, really, very much. Now, I know one guy that had a Spyderco collection said that he's going to use this. I think his name is Keith Kevin Ken, one of the another YouTuber that I kind of watch. Guy's got way more blades than me, and I can tell you there's some knives in there that I wish I had. But he had this, and he also had the original. It was another Tomahawk, but it didn't have the spike at the end of it. It's just a regular axe. I thought it was really cool. But I really wanted mine to have the spike at the end of it, so you get that full Tomahawk experience, you know what I mean? I want that to feel like the weapon that it's meant to be. Really awesome stuff. If you're looking for a quality piece, a real Tomahawk. Did you hear that? I put it on the table and it just boom. It's just so, it's so heavy, but it's awesome. It feels like a quality piece. Like if I were to go to some plywood with this, it would go to town on it and stay, solid. But you can. That's just freaking awesome. It really does. No other Tomahawks I have do that. I have a CRKT Tomahawk that I really, really like. I think it's got a hickory handle. I think it's hickory. I don't know my wood. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not a wood guy. But it's got like this wooden handle, and it's got the real head. I even had to spend a little bit extra money to get the leather head protector sheath with belt loop. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. But I was like, man, I really, really want that Spyderco Tomahawk. And it was unavailable. Every time I went to it, it was unavailable or sold out or some jargon schnoff that I was, damn it, whatever. So, Spyderco, man, they make some awesome stuff. They really do. And this is a quality piece. This is a quality piece. I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. It actually has a feeling. Now, if I could describe what this actually feels like, it feels like it's related to zombie tools. That's how awesome this feels. This feels solid like a zombie tool. If you don't know what zombie tools are, I have featured, I believe, only one of my zombie tools on this channel. I think that was the Rat Bastard. I think it's the Rat Bastard that I featured. But the other one is, its bigger brother. It's like a freaking sword. It's like this giant meat cleaver looking thing. But it feels like a zombie tool. And I think that's one thing that puts a smile on my face when I pick this up, because it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel like I'm being ripped off like when I buy a Tomahawk through SOG. And I never did buy a Tomahawk through SOG, but I have seen Tomahawks through SOG, and they look, I'm sorry, they look like crap. But if you are budget conscious and it might just work for you, I've seen a destruction video on SOG Tomahawk, and it doesn't take very much to break those things. To be honest with you, I had a seal pup and through SOG, and that thing broke. I took it out camping one time, and I barely did any prying with it. It broke on me. I think I was cutting. Yeah, no, I was cutting some wood. I was trying to make firewood with it, and the handle snapped. And it wasn't even full. It was just a terrible design. Rubberized handle. I mean, it looked cool, but I think that's the only thing they got going for them, is that the aesthetics look great. When you get the final product and you're using it, you're like, wow, this feels cheap. Wow, the quality of this is so garbage. Like, there's blade play, it's atrocious. It really is. It makes you want to take your money and literally just either give it to a homeless person or throw it away, because it just doesn't seem like your money's good for anything else, really. I mean, it really isn't, because it's just as good for that. It's terrible. It's like they've taken gas station knives and put a fancy name on it and lied and said that, hey, you can bet your bottom dollar this is a good knife. No, it's not. No, it's not. I've had such horrible experience with every one of their knives. It's so bad. Anyways, I don't mean to talk trash about them. I've had bad experience through them, and you know what's bad when you open up the knife and it doesn't work. And the spring in it is broken. It's just, and you're like, this really left the factory like this? Oh my gosh. It was just bad luck. A whole bunch of bad luck on it. I've never had that experience with any other knife company but them. That's when you know their quality is just not good. Anyways, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Spyderco. I digress. This is a fantastic Tomahawk for what it's worth, and good Lord, it's just so matter of fact. I love this thing. Nice and blacked out, so you got that non-reflective surface, even though it does show a little bit of reflecting, but it's just very pretty. It's very, very pretty. And with the case, you can keep it in the case, or you can just throw this head on there and keep it next to your bedside for when those zombies come a-knocking, And then you can have a little bit of reassurance, because this thing is meant for killing. That sounds really cynical. You can go outside and chop some logs with it if you want to, sure. Whatever. Don't judge me. But I heard that you can actually use these holes right here as kind of like an extra handle. You can tie these holes on something and just pull with this, because this thing is very, very, it's prominent for that. It feels like you can use that as an extra carrying device, I guess. So that's really awesome. You got so many options with this thing. As simple as the design is, it's a fantastic, fantastic piece. Just the price tag is a little bit on the offside, but you know what? If you're kind of like me and you enjoy something, this is probably one of those Tomahawks that you probably should look into. It's fantastic. Look into CRKT. They got some good stuff too. Some good Tomahawks there. A cold steel even. I think there was a cold steel Tomahawk that I've been meaning to get, but I just don't dig the whole plastic handle thing. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I don't think they really got it right with the wood either when they did have a wood axe, if I remember correctly. But, having G10, I really do enjoy G10. I love carbon fiber even more, and that stuff is great. It's durable, it's lightweight, and it provides a decent grip. Depending that, you got the right type of texture on those type of materials. Otherwise, just as good as, any other slippery handle. But these are great. I like the texturing on it. It's fantastic. It's just it's an all-around great piece. It really is. So if you're going to go camping somewhere, if you need a little something to kind of give you that little extra bit of confidence, this is the way to go if you're looking for that type of Tomahawk. So anyways, everybody, so go ahead and slice that like button, stab that subscribe. Oh my gosh, I got this all backwards. Look at that. Man, I'm off my game. Stab that bell icon so you guys are notified anytime that I post new stuff. And in these craziest of times, everybody, please be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you all awesome people in the next video.